All right, so we've all seen those $1 million recipes. I thought today it would be fun to put together a video and just give some of them a try. We're gonna see, are they really that good? Or are they just $1,000 recipes? I thought I'd bring you a little intro from the back porch today, but let's go into the kitchen and get cooking. We're just gonna start by browning up 1 pound of ground beef. While our ground beef is browning up, I'm also cooking up 1 bag of the refrigerated tortellini. You can usually find this around your deli area in your grocery store, and you just want to get the cheese version. And the directions in this recipe I'm following say to cook it 1 less minute than the directions say on the back of the bag. I guess because we are going to bake it, so it's going to continue to cook. Our ground beef is browned up, so now I'm just gonna add 1 jar of marinara sauce. Of course, we love Rayo's, it's the best. We're just gonna add that right in with the ground beef. Get just a little bit of water to get all that out of my jar. Go ahead and turn that burner off, and then we're just gonna stir this all together. And that pasta, y'all, is only gonna cook about 3 minutes. We don't want it to get too mushy, and really you're supposed to use a large skillet and add the pasta in along with this. But I'm just gonna combine it all in a large bowl because my large skillet is being used by something else. All right, our tortellini is done. I'm just gonna dump that in. I'm just gonna toss everything a little bit. Already looks so good. And I just had a thought as well, this could totally be a meatless option. Of course, it's not vegan. We're gonna add some cheese, and the tortellini has cheese, but if you wanted a meatless option, I think this would make a great one. All right, so let's go make our second little layer. All right, so I just have a separate bowl here, and I have 1 block of softened cream cheese in there. You can let it come to room temperature. I just pop mine in the microwave for a few seconds. To that, I'm just gonna add about 1/2 cup of ricotta cheese. You could also use cottage cheese if you have that on hand. We're also gonna add a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of onion powder, and we're just gonna mix all that together. So next, I just have my 9x13. You need to spray your dish. I know how to spray, so when all else fails, butter. It's only a little bit. It looks like a lot, but I'm gonna spread it all out on this dish. So first, going in is about 1/2 of our tortellini and meat sauce. Just gonna get that all spread out. My audience is over here eyeballing it. Tell them hey.
Hey, y'all.
Okay, Paula name.
Hey, y'all.
Hey y'all, I'm Paula Dean. Next, we're gonna bring over that ricotta and cream cheese mixture, and we're gonna add the whole mixture for our middle layer. And just kind of spread it out the best we can. How's that freshly shredded mozzarella?
It's delicious.
Is it better than already shredded?
Mm-hmm.
Spread out that layer. Then next, we're just coming back on top with the other 1/2 of our tortellini. This definitely reminds me of a different take on lasagna. Same flavors, but a little bit different. Super easy to throw together too. Now it's time for that mozzarella we shredded up. We're just gonna add about 1 cup on top, or however much you want. Measure with your heart, honey. Get it all the way to the sides, or almost. Y'all, does it bug you when anybody makes pizza and they put all the toppings like in the center of the pizza and you have like a 4-inch crust? That's one of those things that just bugs me. It's gotta be even. You gotta give everybody the same amount. It's gotta be fair. Next, on top of that, we're also gonna add about 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan. And we are ready for the oven. I'm gonna get this covered with some foil, and it's going into the oven at 350 for only about 30 minutes. All right, y'all, here it is out of the oven. It looks and smells delicious. We're just gonna top it with a little bit of parsley to make it pretty. All right, let's get this plated up. All right, y'all, we're just serving ours up with a little side salad and some little naan bread bites that we toasted up like garlic bread. Looks so good. All right, let's give it a try. That is delicious. Really creamy, perfect flavors in there. That tortellini is just cooked perfectly. It's not too soft. Nice and cheesy. Came together super quick. Great for a weeknight. Perfect. Y'all give it a try. So I have about 4 cups of cooked and shredded chicken. I just boiled it over on the stove and then shredded it up with my hand mixer. Super quick, I love doing it that way. But next to the chicken, we're gonna add 1 cup of cottage cheese. And don't worry, I think this is gonna cook down where you really can't tell it's in there. We will see, I'll let you know what everybody thinks. Next, we're gonna add half a cup of sour cream. And I'm just eyeballing all these measurements. Next is 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. And of course, I just softened mine right in the microwave. We're also gonna add 1 can of cream of chicken soup. The recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm just gonna put some in. And also 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. I'm gonna add just a little bit of fresh black pepper. All right, and now we're just gonna get all this combined. Doesn't call for rice or anything like that to be added to the mix. So I think I'll probably just cook some white rice on the side and serve this kind of over top of it. All right, let's go grab our baking dish. And this also does have a buttery Ritz cracker topping, but I'm actually making this ahead of time. This is a great make ahead recipe or even a freezer meal. But if you do that, I recommend just saving the buttery cracker topping for the very end. So that way your topping is all nice and buttery and crisp and crunchy, the way you want it. But I mean, or if you like your topping a little bit soft, go ahead and put it on there. But this is gonna sit in my fridge for a couple hours until I'm ready to bake it at dinner time. I'm just gonna get it all nice and spread out. And like I said, I'm gonna cover it and I'll see you guys in a few hours and we'll get that topping on there. All right, it's a few hours later, so now we're gonna make that topping. I have about 4 or 5 tablespoons of butter that I just melted. And then also I have 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers. I'm gonna crush these up and get these into this butter. We're just gonna give that a little stir. And dinner is served. This is what you call, I don't know, I think we already talked about Paula Deen in this video, but I was gonna say this is what you call Paula Deen cereal. Or cook, clean, repeat. Yeah, this is cook, clean, repeat
That's
cereal.
breakfast is what that is.
It's breakfast. Dinner is served. I mean breakfast. I mean midnight snack. All right, so I got my casserole out of the fridge. We're just gonna top it with that Ritz topping. I feel like we might need more. All right, so I have my oven preheated to 350, and this is just going in there for about 30 to 40 minutes, just until it's nice and warm. Nice and hot, rather. All right, y'all, let's give it a try. It smells delicious. And I also have those $1 million chocolate coconut bars in the oven. Stay tuned for that recipe because they also smell so good. This is nice and creamy. I feel like this is a recipe that the whole family is gonna love. I would throw some parsley on there for some color, but I don't have any. But I'm just serving it up, like I said, with some rice. Got some steamed broccoli. I think this looks delicious. Let's give it a try. That's really good. I'm actually really surprised. That's really good. Got a lot of flavor, believe it or not. Crunchy, buttery crust, nice and creamy. Has the tiniest bit ever of sweetness, I guess, from the Ritz crackers. Really good, and like I said, I think your whole family will enjoy this one. So to start, I have about 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs I just crushed up, and we're gonna add 1 cup of melted butter. And this is gonna make our crust for our bars. Next, I just brought over my 9x13. And we're gonna get our crust in there and just press it down in the bottom of the baking dish. All right, I've never made this recipe before. It feels like I should have more graham cracker in the bottom, but we're just gonna go with it. That's what the recipe said, so I'll let you guys know how it turns out. But next, we're just gonna layer on 1.5 cups of milk chocolate chips. Just layer those right on top of the graham crackers. Next, right on top of the chocolate chips, we're gonna add 1 cup of chopped walnuts. I'm sure if you don't like walnuts, you could use pecans or any other nut that you like. Next, I just have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. We're gonna pour that over the whole thing. So this is a Six Sisters stuff recipe, and on the blog it says this is a Zupas Cafe recipe or dupe. So obviously we don't live near one of those. I've never heard of this. But y'all let me know if y'all do and y'all have ever had these. All right, so let's get this sweetened condensed milk just poured all over our bars. Next, on top of that, we're gonna add about 1 cup of shredded coconut. Then lastly, we're just gonna go in with another 1/2 cup of chocolate chips and just a few more walnuts. And this is gonna bake in the oven at 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes until they are set. I decided to go ahead and try to plate these up. As you can see, they didn't stay quite together in a bar form, but maybe if I let them set up a little bit longer or put them in the fridge, they would. But y'all, they look delicious. Ain't nobody scared to use a fork either. Here's what the bars look like on the inside. Like I said, maybe next time if I make this, I'll use less butter and just use the amount of graham crackers. I think they might hold up a little bit better, but to me, that still looks delicious. So let's give it a try. Yeah, this is delicious, but I definitely recommend y'all to make this and try it, but just stick with the 1 stick of butter. I think 2 sticks is a bit much, but I think 1 stick would be the perfect consistency for that crust. However, the flavors are amazing. All right, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for cooking along with me. Make sure you check out one of these videos next before you go. Let me know if you think you might try any of today's recipes, and I will see you guys real soon in my next video. Bye, y'all.